Hey, hi everyone. David Samuelson, ISACA CEO. We're glad that you're here. Welcome to ISACA Live. This is the third conversation in our Digital First series, and to keep you updated on ISACA's digital transformation and other updates. So we've also started a new monthly series on emerging technologies, so I hope that you can check that out. So we're going to get started. Julia, I want to say hi to you. Thanks for
Hello.
joining. Thanks for joining ISACA Live. It's great to talk to you. Why don't we start with a quick introduction? Tell the community a bit about your past experience and what your role is at ISACA.
Sure, happy to. So my background, I started my career in technology. Don't ask me to do it anymore, but I used to do some Java programming and found that I liked kind of some of the upfront strategy part first. And so moved over into a product marketing role with the National Restaurant Association. Spent about 10 years there in a variety of different roles. And then most recently, I was the CEO of the Illinois Technology Association, where I really was connecting that background in technology with association, and that led me here to ISACA, where I continue to get to do that. It's really where I have found my sweet spot and my passion in terms of the power of community and how community can really help people grow their careers and grow their businesses.
Well, we have a passionate group joining us today. Stephen's been a member for 17 years. James has been a member for 30 plus years. And Claudia is a new member, been here only 6 months. So, and many, many others in the chat. So we're glad that you're here. And as our community knows, digital transformation is here to stay. We're all going through it. If we're not a digital company, if you didn't think we were a digital company before, we definitely are now post-pandemic. And we began our digital transformation during the pandemic, but it really gave us a new perspective about digital first. And so what are some of the ways that you've seen technology really making a positive impact on our member community in the past year and a half?
Yeah, I think what's been interesting is this stronger embracement of technology to do things like we're doing here today. I think is a great example. I think it's opened up our minds to new ways of connecting with each other that we maybe didn't see in the past, or that we didn't fully embrace in the past. And we've seen some great examples throughout our member community, not just with the things we've done in terms of virtual events and some of those kinds of things, but we've seen our members really embrace this as a way of getting their work done too. For example, in India, the presidents of all of our chapters in India didn't used to get together on a regular basis, and the pandemic and this embracement of digital has really enabled them to do that more. And they meet monthly now to talk about their common challenges and opportunities. We also saw a great example. Our Madrid chapter collaborated with some of our Latin America chapters to do a conference for the Spanish-speaking community, and which was great, and not something that I think they'd ever done before or would have ever thought about doing if the pandemic hadn't really accelerated this move into kind of digital communication and digital community.
Yeah, it's sort of at once more intimate and less intimate. I mean, we're far apart. All of us are joining from different parts of the world, but we're right here. We're right in front of each other, and it gives us an opportunity to do it. I do think it takes an effort, though. And what are some of the efforts that we've been making? This is a good example. ISACA Live is an effort that we're making, but what are some other things that we've been doing?
Yeah, we had to pivot to a virtual event strategy back at the beginning of the pandemic. And although we're starting to move towards our next event will be a hybrid event where we have both people in person and people digitally attending. We've heard from our members that you all have told us that 8 out of 10 of you want to continue with digital events and virtual events even when things are completely back to normal. There's something that I think people have really embraced about this that I think opens up opportunity for more people to attend that maybe couldn't have in the past. And that's one of the things that makes me really excited about this kind of embracement of a virtual or hybrid world around events and learning and community, is that people that maybe hadn't been able to be a part of that in the past are able to. And David, you mentioned, it's both more intimate and less intimate, but there's great opportunity for people who are maybe shy in person to ask a question. They might put that in a chat that they otherwise wouldn't have raised their hand or walked up to the microphone to do. And I think those are great opportunities to be more inclusive and include, a more diverse range of people in what we do.
Yeah, and I think, we're a global community, and just like you're seeing in the chat, people from all over the world are joining today, and it allows us to find each other and find common themes that you might not see in a regional meeting or even one of our conferences that is more regionally focused. And so I think there are important factors about a digital transformation, even if you're forced to make it, that are important, and it drives some of our decisions and directions. So what are some decisions and directions that we've made as a result of this digital transformation?
Yeah, there's a few new things that we're launching. Starting next week with you, we're starting a new Ask Me Anything series that we might have tried to incorporate into a conference or into an event in the past. And now we're getting an opportunity, and we're thinking about doing that in a digital first mentality. So it'll be a Zoom session that our members are invited to attend, and we'll continue that series into the future as well, starting first with you and our board chair, Greg. But those are great opportunities. We've also seen a lot of opportunity on our Engage platform, which is our way of bringing our community together for conversation and collaboration. And we've seen a big uptick in terms of the number of people participating and engaging on the Engage platform, which has been great and been a great opportunity for people to find other voices that maybe in the past your network was more limited to the geography in which you lived. And I think that the change that the pandemic has brought and that we're embracing here at ISACA around evolving ourselves to a more digital delivery of the things we do will open that up. You don't always have to find your mentor, for example, that you can meet for coffee. It's become much more normalized to do this kind of work with somebody that you want to collaborate with.
Yeah, it's frictionless. It gives you it does take an effort, but it's not a lot of friction because everyone's had to get used to this. This is a new normal for us, and to do our jobs and even to connect with family during the pandemic. This has been the lifeline, and I think it's an important way for us to reach each other and to find common ground and to work together. We've done a lot of work virtually effectively. I think ISACA's had a pretty important kind of transition this last year, and it's because we're a digital first organization now, and I think every company has to be. And lots of companies are going through this. So what are some of the exciting things and maybe some of the pain points that you and your team have gone through in the membership group or the marketing group that we've encountered, and how have you overcome them, and what are you learning from that?
Yeah, I think one of the biggest opportunities for us. So in addition to my responsibilities on the membership side, I also oversee our marketing function, and there we're doing a lot with our underlying technology to be better at it and to improve our personalization for our members so that we are getting the right content to the right people at the right time instead of just kind of a more broad, bang approach to sending and messaging our members. And so that's exciting. There's a lot of opportunity there. I think that does come with its challenges. The pace of change is rapid. And there's a lot we're doing in terms of what we're changing with our underlying technology, new platforms for the team to learn. So the change management process and the ability to embrace that change is something that we've definitely been talking a lot about and working with our employees on. And some are ready for it, and some aren't, and some want to work towards it, and some don't. So we have to kind of work through that process in terms of adapting to change and being ready for kind of what's next in terms of the technology and the tools that we're using from a marketing standpoint.
Yeah, and I think that's true for all organizations. Some of the chat questions are really around how we rebuild trust in the digital world as professionals, because we are digital trust professionals in all of our activities, and today we're getting much more input around much more activity around ransomware and attacks and things like that. So we really rely on our membership and our experts to be for us to be at the forefront. And we've covered this topic quite a bit in some of our recent blogs and newsletters, and we'll add some relevant links in the chat here for the group who's joined us. And I think I think there's some aspect of this working from home and digitally connecting at work that's going to continue for lots and lots of companies. So one area that we've also focused on with our digital transformation is our website. We've relaunched our website last year. What are some of the things that we've learned from that effort that might be helpful for members?
Yeah, I think that where our site is now is years ahead of where it had been before we relaunched it in January, but we, really believe in that idea of continuous improvement. So I think there's a lot more that we can do and that we are working on. We did a great study this year with a lot of our website users and with our members to understand how they're using the site and what they need from it. And what we really found from that is that we need to work on improving what I call the wayfinding of our site. So that's some of the work that's going on right now. How can we help you get to the things you need much more quickly, based on what we know about you and based on what you are willing to share with us? So in that concept of trust, I think one of the things that is going to change about the way that people market and communicate with members and customers, is that we have to build that trust, and you have to be willing and want to share your information with us, so that we can deliver a more personalized experience for you on the website and through our communications. Versus, I think, when the world started, when I started my work in marketing, it was a lot more grabbing from our customers or our members, and now we need to build that trust and ask for it, and with kind of a carrot on the other side in terms of what we can then deliver for you. But the big takeaway from us on the study we did with our site is how we can improve that experience, and we're working on that in little bits and pieces, along the way. So you'll start to see some of that reflected in the way the information architecture for the website is laid out, for example.
Yeah, the bar is much higher in the world now through this kind of digital communication, and everything that we care about in our professions becomes even more important. And I really am grateful for all of you who are joining today and for being members and leaders and thought leaders in this space. And if you could share any examples of things that you've done at your company that have made the world, safer during this challenging time, share that with one another. A question was asked if we can get to the main topic soon, which I think we hopped right into this topic. So we're trying to talk about our digital transformation and how that might be echoed in the work that you're doing every day. We want to be transparent about the kinds of things that we're doing at ISACA and learning, and then leveraging all of you for the spirit of what we can do in the future. So thanks for all of you for joining today. And, I hope that we continue to offer you the kind of insights that that will make you better at your leadership role at your workplace, and better as individuals in what you do. So any closing remarks, Julia?
No, just I'm excited about, in my role at ISACA overseeing membership and marketing, so much about digital transformation for us is colliding with what's happened with the pandemic. And I think that's really what we've learned and what's been the big thing for us in terms of how we can deliver better, higher quality digital experiences that you mentioned, it's kind of raised the bar on that with the pandemic, and we're embracing that fully. Doing more of these kinds of things, doing the Ask Me Anything sessions in a digital format, like I talked about, ensuring that our conferences for the foreseeable future, I don't know if we will ever not have a hybrid a conference again. So there's a lot that we're doing there, ramping up the way that people can participate with each other on Engage. So a lot there that I think was accelerated, but it's the right time for it too.
Yeah, and we're building a foundation so that our ability to be digital is more modern and rapid and supporting what we're doing. And you'll learn more about all of that on our ISACA Now blogs from Julia and her team, so follow along for those updates. And be sure to join ISACA Board Chair Greg Tuhill and myself for our Ask Me Anything Zoom call that Julia mentioned that start next week. And please visit the Engage Online Communities and the ISACA website to meet ISACA's new board director, Veronica Rose. So thanks for joining us today. It's great to see all of you out there in the world joining us here on ISACA Live. Have a great day, or night, or morning.
Thanks all.